The first tool we're going to be using is our big flat brush. So the flat brush that is the largest brush in our entire toolkit right here. We're going to use this guy to do our entire gradient in the background, and then we're going to switch over to the smaller version of this to do our great white shark. So the colors that we're going to be using for our background are going to be titanium white, teal, and phthalo blue. Those are the only three colors we'll be using for our background. And we're going to start with white. So where our light is going to be lightly filtering through, we're going to just throw up a little bit of white, not too much, guys, because it's actually all going to be toned down into a really light teal. And then immediately you're going to switch over to your teal. See, I got quite a bit of teal on there. We're just trying to fill all of this in. And look at that flat brush, really doing a great job. Very versatile brush. That's why we love this one. So go ahead and you're just smoothing out, filling in all of that white area, and then pretty quickly you're going to develop into your phthalo blue. You're just going to want to pull this teal down just a little bit. And don't worry if you paint over your lines, guys. It might get a little muddy at first, but it'll all disappear as we start developing this painting more. Just like that. And then without even having to clean your brush, I grabbed the phthalo blue, that really beautiful blue color. It's just gorgeous. And start adding that into the mix. And I prefer mixing on canvas than doing it on my palette. And that's because I just feel like you get a much smoother finish and look, and it's especially apparent whenever you're doing gradients, which is what our entire background is going to be mostly, except for a little bit of texture in the ripples. Now I am trying to keep my shark pretty preserved because we were so precise with him, and we have a very specific perspective that we're going for. So just try to paint around it, but if you have to paint over like the tail especially, really just to get this continued movement. So you have her making a nice big kind of like half moon circular motion as we're brushing. Try to do full big swoops if you can, just like that. And I'm going to pull this extra color down here. Perfect. And then if you want to go ahead and grab more of that dark blue, come down here and start really filling in the entire bottom. It's all going to be filled in with this beautiful blue color. And if you're having a little bit of trouble getting your white canvas to disappear, all you have to do is just see how you're getting like these little like marks like that. If you're getting marks like that, just dip the end of your brush, like literally just a teeny tiny bit, little tiny tip, and even kind of pat it off a little bit. And go back over that and you'll see just how quickly that helps spread that pigment around and really get your canvas to soak up that pigment. But if you use too much water, it will kind of throw off the look of your gradient, so keep that in mind. So just be very aware when you're using water and how much you're using. And if you go a little into your shark, that's a-okay. That's why we're doing our background first. And you also might notice that my strokes stopped being so curved the more I got further down the canvas or more in the depths of the water. And that's mostly just because it becomes less relevant because we're not going to be creating ripples all the way down our piece. It's only going to stay up at the surface. But of course, if you want to keep painting in that curved motion, please do that. This is your piece. I'm just here to show you how to use the materials and the techniques to create it. And try to keep your colors even on both sides of your shark. So you see how we have a lot of blue up higher, but it was kind of less deep blue on the left side, so I'm just having to correct that a little bit right now. Add that in. And of course, paint around your edges as you're doing this as well, so you don't have to go back and do that again later. So we're actually going to be creating quite a few layers of this phthalo blue, so don't try to sit here and paint in all of this blue in one go, because you're actually going to start to pull off pigment rather than lay on pigment when you have so much color on top of each other. So give that a rest and let it dry, and then we're going to hop right into doing the color blocking in our great white shark.